What's going on, everybody? It's Stas here. So the markets had a crazy day today. The S&P went up 1%. We had the Dow and the Russell go up 0.5%. And get this, the NASDAQ 100 went up 1.7%. So in this video, we're going to break down some technicals, go over stocks I'm looking at, my thoughts on the market, and a little bit about what I'm doing right now. So sit back, relax, take a sip of your coffee, get yourself 2 stocks from Webull and $30 from M1 Finance. Those are free, linked right down below, and let's get right into the video. So look, guys, SPY ended up breaking out today. Very good sign, technically speaking. We took out that double top resistance from last week. You guys can see that was roughly at 417.50. We topped there on the 14th and the 18th of May. And we also broke out a 418.20, which was that high point from last Friday. You guys can see we broke out of that. In fact, we filled the entire gap up to the high point from the end of April, right around $420. And if I pull up the intraday chart, you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about. We hit 420, and then Power Hour came along, and SPY ended up selling off to about 419, which doesn't really matter that it sold off, because overall the sell-off doesn't mean that the close wasn't bullish. I mean, the close was very bullish because we closed above the high points from last week. So at this point in time, I'm going to be looking to see what SPY ends up doing at 420, 421, roughly where we topped off today and a couple of weeks ago. If we're able to break that, don't be surprised if SPY ends up going all-time highs right around 423.50, or maybe even it consolidates a bit in this 418, 421 range for a couple of days before it breaks out. But overall, this is bullish, and I quite frankly believe that this is going to go up even more by the looks of it, guys. It looks like it's not done rallying, and we'll see what happens. Again, at 420, 421, if it breaks, yeah, that's a sign that we're going to continue to rally. And pulling up QQQ here, let's see what's going on there. And as I mentioned before, with the NASDAQ 100, which QQQ tracks that, the NASDAQ 100 had a great day. So QQQ obviously did well as well, and it broke out of that high point from Friday right around 330. We broke that, and we filled the gap all the way to roughly 333. We closed at 332.50, which was a pretty good close, although we are under another big resistance now at 333, roughly 334 as well. So I believe if we take out 333, QQQ is going to go 336, 337 roughly, followed by 339 and 343. So at this point in time, very bullish move today, but we need to break 333 for this to continue, or we might see some sort of sell-off, a healthy pullback down, a retest, let's say 330, before it ends up running back up. But overall, QQQ SPY looks very bullish. We had gold and silver go down a little bit today. The VIX went down a ton, the volatility and the fear index went down about 8-9% today, so that's pretty solid. And Bitcoin and crypto also bounced back pretty aggressively. So if you're looking at multiple asset classes, I mean, Bitcoin, crypto, all of these cryptos, pretty much all the coins, and we had a bunch of stocks out there, the overall indexes, they did very well. You know, very strong day across the board. Ethereum's up 23% right now. Bitcoin's up 11% on the day. Bitcoin Cash is up 34%. We have Litecoin up 23%. Let's see what Dogecoin's at. Dogecoin's up 13%, XRP's up 16%, DOT's up 25%, Cardano's up 12%, Binance Coin up 30%. So what a day when it comes to crypto. And look, I don't know if you guys can see this, and by the way, this is the Coinbase app. Get $10 free down below. This says the market is up 16% just on the day today. That's the crypto market. So crazy day across the board. Let me know your thoughts down below. As always, I'd love to know. And if you guys are enjoying the video, video, hit that like button. That's greatly appreciated, and make sure to subscribe to the channel if you want daily content like this. And let's get on to some stocks now that I'm looking at that pretty much all of these did very well today. Stock number one, we have none other than Virgin Galactic. And what did I say, guys? What did I say? This stock moves on hype, on events, on very successful test flights, which in this case, we had a very successful test flight. And a couple months ago, we didn't, which is why the stock went down a couple months ago quite aggressively. And now we're seeing how that works in the opposite direction, right? Today, Virgin Galactic went up 27%, and that's on top of the gain we had last week. Do you guys remember last week, Virgin Galactic was $13 a share? It was in the teens, and it went up 20% in a day last week. It had a great week overall last week, and now the trend's continuing. In fact, we were almost above $30 in the pre-market. So at this point in time, Virgin Galactic, I think, is on a slow ascending pattern up to $30, $35. That's where I think this could end up heading to, especially now that we gapped above the 180 moving average. We're also moving towards those levels from back in the middle towards the end of March. And we'll see what the next big thing that comes out that us investors, traders in terms of Virgin Galactic, what's the next big thing? Because like I said, this stock always needs a hype event, something in the future to look forward to. And if that's Richard Branson going up, if that's another test flight, whatever it is, if we get that, that could end up being the event that we rally into. And if the event's successful, right, we could rally even more after that. So this is a very good sign overall for Virgin Galactic, ticker symbol SPCE. And again, I think 30, 35 is the short-term upside target, although it is overbought right now. We can't lie and ignore the RSI, guys. It is overbought. So don't be surprised if it pulls back a bit, maybe 23, 24. Maybe we could end up playing that dip and riding it back up to $28, $30. So watch out for ticker symbol SPCE. Pinterest is another one. Ticker symbol PINS. This one up 3.4% today. And look at this. On the 4-hour chart, yes, we are trading under the 180 moving average, although we're above the 50 moving average. What we notice is the downtrending channel is continuing. And this is a good sign, considering every time we've hit this lower low spot towards the channel, the bottom side of the channel, we've seen some sort of rebound, right? And now we've seen exactly that. We hit 54. Now we rebounded above 60. Today we closed at 62.90. Now I think there's a lot more upside. I believe we could end up pushing towards that 180 SMA at about $69, potentially break that and fill up towards about $75, $80. I believe that's very possible, especially as we're seeing this strength in tech like we saw NASDAQ 100, QQQ. These did very well today. If this continues, let's say, throughout this week, maybe for the next couple of weeks, which is very possible, we could see Pinterest go up to $70, $75, which it's not that crazy at the end of the day, considering it's done exactly that many times in the past, as we can see in this downwards channel. So Pinterest, I like it here. I think there's more upside. I'm talking about 8 to 10, 12% upside from here, maybe even more, but I don't want to get carried away because we're not moving that aggressively yet. We're kind of still in the early phases of this reversal back to the upside. So we'll see. That is Pinterest, ticker symbol PINS. And Snapchat is another one which, if we look at the 4-hour chart here, we're breaking out of the wedge. This is very good. We're breaking above the moving averages as well. And I mean, gosh, this is a great breakout pattern. What else can I say? I mean, at this point in time, it looks like we're going mid-60s. That's the next big resistance on this chart. We actually topped there back in the middle of March, middle of April, also a little bit in the beginning of May. And now that, again, we're above the moving averages out of this wedge, that's the next spot we're going to, which is about 5-6% from where we are now. And granted, like some other charts we looked at today, Snapchat is a bit overbought, so don't be surprised if we do see a pullback to about 58, 59, maybe maybe lower, I don't know, but don't be surprised if we see a little pullback followed by that push towards the mid, and I think it could go higher than that, probably high 60s. So watch out for Snapchat, SNAP. We're in this one. Well, I'm not in it yet. I'm looking at it, and we're catching it pretty early, right? That's what I want to say there. So watch out for that one. DKS is another one, also known as Dick's Sporting Goods. They report earnings, I believe, tomorrow. Let me double check that. Actually, no, 2 days from now. So they report on Wednesday, and this stock did well today, up 2.3%, up almost $2 per share. And what we notice here is it's in a wedge, right? It's in a wedge. You guys can see higher highs are being made, but we're also making lower highs in the short term. And if I pull up the hourly chart, you guys will be able to see that. So I like how we peaked above the 50 and the EMA here on the hourly chart, but we closed under the 180 SMA. So let's see if DKS could break out of the high point today at about 86 bucks. If so, we could start making a move towards the top of this wedge, anywhere from $88, $90, and that could be a breakout spot for DKS. Maybe we take out 88, 90, we end up going mid, high 90s, that's possible. And granted, we do have earnings coming up, like I said. It really depends on the earnings. Do we beat? Do we miss? EPS, guidance, what's the management team saying, and so forth. But overall, the trend is positive. I like it, and that is why I'm tracking it heading into earnings. That is ticker symbol DKS. Ulta is another one, ULTA, which we called out months ago, maybe even over a year ago. We were looking at Ulta when it was in the 150s, 70s, 90s, and now it's at 315. What a heck of a performance we've seen from Ulta. And this is very similar to DKS. It's in a wedge, higher lows, but it's also making lower highs. This one's trading under the moving averages. We're seeing a bit of a death cross forming here, which isn't the best sign, but I want to see if it could break out of the moving averages, and maybe we see a golden cross from there before potentially picking it up. But I think if we could take out, let's say, 320 to about 330, that's a general sell zone as of late. If we break that area, so I'm going to put an alert at 330, I'm thinking Ulta could be a breakout. So watch out for 330 above those moving averages and the high point from all the way, really the resistance point, high point from all of April into May, into the mid-May time, pretty much all the way to till now. So if 330 breaks, this is going to be a breakout play, probably towards the mid to high 300s. And would you take a look at DraftKings today, guys? Oh my goodness, up 7%. It's up even more after hours right now. It hit 49 earlier in the day before Power Hour started. What a day for DraftKings. And I was looking at those options I bought a couple weeks ago, and I actually sold out of them. Those were up a lot more from where I sold out. I believe I bought the $50 January 2022 calls for DKNG. Check them out, guys. I bought them at $570. I sold them at about $675. Now they're sitting over $750. So yeah, I should have held on. I don't know why I didn't, but it's okay because I still have shares, right? And you can't always look back and be like, oh, I should have done this. Oh, I should have done that. The truth is, hindsight's 2020, right? That is just the truth. And at the end of the day, I still made money on those options, and I have shares. I mean, I've been buying shares of DraftKings all the way from 57 down to the low 50s. I bought in the low 40s as recently as last week, right? And all you guys on my Patreon, you get my buy and sell alerts, options moves I'm making, and so forth. And DraftKings, it's playing out like we expected, right? We bought the dip. Now we broke above $48, which was support back in the beginning of December, also in the beginning of January. This is a good sign that it wants to fill the gap up towards the 180 moving average on the 4-hour chart. Also at about $54, that's where we held support all the way through February. From February through pretty much the beginning of this month of May, we held 54. So watch out. That could be the next spot we do see a bit of a rally to. But like all the stocks today, this one's a bit overbought in the short term. So don't be surprised if it pulls back a little bit before we rip up towards the mid 50s, low 50s, because truthfully, that is where I think it's going. And that's why I'm buying the shares, why I've been buying. And who knows, I might end up buying even more if we do see that pull down. So DraftKings DKNG is a must watch here. And not to mention the yearly chart, it shows the uptrend continuing now. This is a very bullish sign, guys, so be mindful of it. Another one I'm looking at here, guys, is LUV, Southwest Airlines. This one's down a good $4 from its all-time high, or I don't even know if that is the all-time high. It is the high here on the 4-hour chart, so we'll go with it. It's down 6-7% from that spot, and at this point in time, we're fighting with the moving averages. We're fighting at the resistance of this downwards channel. So I want to see if Love could end up taking out $62, breaking above the moving averages, so we could catch a momentum trade. And I believe, did they report? No, they reported earnings earlier. I was about to say, do they have earnings coming up? No, they reported earnings a couple weeks ago, about a month ago. So their earnings are coming up in about a month and a half from now. So watch out for those. But overall, I think this is setting up for a potential breakout, but we just need to get above the moving averages and $62 and the high point from earlier in the middle of the month of May. So watch out for LUV. So that's it. I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, feel free to smash that like button, subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and check out my video from earlier about Beyond Meat. I did a stock analysis on that company, which did very well today. So go check out the Beyond Meat video from earlier today, and make sure to also check out my Patreon. If you want my real-time buy and sell alerts, call outs, you want a morning update video every day, and if you want more access to me throughout the day, one-on-one, that is on Patreon, link down below, or you guys can go to patreon.com/DotSurfest. Don't forget to also get 2 free stocks from Webull and $30 free from M1 Finance. Those are linked down below. You could also get $10 from Coinbase. That's literally $60, $70, $80 for free. Link down below for you guys. I'll catch you all in the Beyond Meat video. Check it out. Let me know your thoughts. Thanks for tuning in again. As always, keep crushing the markets, guys. Stay safe out there. Peace out.